waves in the ocean of this material world, from which there is no escape. Kindly give me the gift of your divine lotus feet, which are compared to a boat in which your servant may cross over the ocean of birth and death.
Narottam Das, the servant of Lord Sri Krishna, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ceaselessly makes this prayer. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Gurave Namah. So we will continue to read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 6, which is deliverance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Very, very beautiful narration. And we'll continue from text 208. So far, we understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Jagannath Puri along with his associates. However, he, in a desperate to see Lord Jagannath, he went ahead. And by having darshan of Jagannath, he immediately fell in the floor in ecstasy. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, examining the symptoms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he understood it is not an ordinary symptoms. He brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home. However, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is leader of impersonalist philosophy. Impersonalist Sankaracharya that time. He had vague ideas about the Supreme Personality of Godhead in an impersonal aspect. He did not accept anyone to be incarnating in this age and time. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showered his mercy by manifesting this, performing this Leela. So when he came in external consciousness, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya served Mahaprasadam to everyone. He wanted to, being attracted the beauty of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this young age also, he's very young, he wanted to protect him like a fatherly figure. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciated it. He asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he should recite Vedanta Sutras. So, with his instruction, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said yes. He continued to hear for 7 days and 7 nights. As I don't have 7 days, 7 nights. Anyone remember? Not 7 nights, of course, for 7 days, right? He continued to hear, but he did not say anything. To his surprise, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked, are you understanding what I'm speaking? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, well, I understand very well Vedanta Sutras, but I don't understand your explanation of Vedanta Sutras. It's like a cloud covering the sun. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained him the Vedanta, actual meaning of Vedanta Sutra in a personal, theistic way. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was surprised to hear such kind of commentary. And also, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's brother-in-law, Gopinath Acharya, he insisted, he explained that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he would not believe. Finally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, revealed his form, first 400 form, Lord Vishnu, then he revealed his form as a Krishna. And by seeing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he fell in ecstasy. Now he's a devotee of Lord Krishna. He understood the mercy of Lord Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon him. His faith on the Lord and Mahaprasad has increased like multifold. And everyone is very much surprised to see the transformation in in Sabhabam Bhattacharya. Now, being a very learned and impersonalist, sometimes one can be very much rigid and to process rituals, and can be very hard-hearted. Can be very hard-hearted. Now, today's reading will focus on how his faith on the Mahaprasad. His faith on the Mahaprasad has increased. So text 208. Prabhu, you want to read the Bengali, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. অশ্রু স্তম্ভ পুলক শ্বেত কম্প থরহরি নাচে গায়ে কান্দে পড়ে প্রভু পদ ধরি
Out of ecstatic love of God, the Bhattacharya shed tears and his body was stunned. He exhibited an ecstatic mood and he perspired, shook, and trembled. He sometimes danced, sometimes chanted, sometimes cried, and sometimes fell down to touch the lotus feet of the Lord. Text 29.
দেখি গোপীনাথ আচার্য হরষিত মন ভট্টাচার্যের নৃত্য দেখি হাসে প্রভুর গণ
While Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was in this ecstasy, Gopinath Acharya was very pleased. The associates of Lord, the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all laughed to see the Bhattacharya dance so.
গোপীনাথ আচার্য কহে মহাপ্রভুর প্রতি সেই ভট্টাচার্যের প্রভু কইলে এই গতি
Gopinath Acharya told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sir, you have brought all this upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
প্রভু কহে তুমি ভক্ত তোমার সঙ্গ হইতে জগন্নাথ ইহারে কৃপা কইল ভালো মতে
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you are a devotee. Because of your association, Lord Jagannath had shown him mercy. I hope I've turned on the purports here. There are no purports here probably. Let me see. Just give me one. Yeah, there are no purports here. Yeah, not this one. Yeah, here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you are a devotee. Because of your association, Lord Jagannath has shown him mercy.
তবে ভট্টাচার্যে প্রভু সুস্থির করিল স্থির হইয়া ভট্টাচার্য বহু স্তুতি কইল
After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pacified the Bhattacharya. And when he was quieted, he offered many prayers to the Lord.
জগৎ নিস্তারিলে তুমি সেহ অল্প কার্য আমা উদ্ধারিলে তুমি এ শক্তি আশ্চর্য
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, my dear sir, you have delivered the entire world, but that is not a very great task. However, you have also delivered me, and that is certainly the work of very wonderful powers. Should we discuss up to so far? Any Omagyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminita Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharanini Visesh Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any reflections, comments on this? on this first verse, we can see how a hard-hearted person, even the transcendentalist, but Lord Krishna says one reads too many books, one just reads too many, he becomes jnani, he can become hard-hearted. And bhakti is very simple. Bhakti is very simple. It is simple for simple and complex for complex. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is definitely being very much learned and in Vedantas. He was definitely proud also. But by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these ecstatic symptoms manifested. Now, these ecstatic symptoms we may not have, it's not very easily attained just like that. Bhava stage, bhava and prema stage, we will experience, manifest these symptoms. The primarily 8 symptoms. It says shedding tears in ecstasy, shedding tears in ecstasy, stunning, an ecstatic mood, perspiration, shaking, trembling, right? Dancing, chanting. These are the ecstasy manifested when in love with Krishna. So in a moment, in just some time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya can manifest the symptoms of that is a love for Krishna, Krishna prema. Sometimes fell down to touch the feet of the Lord. All this transformation took place. Now, when this happened, he was like dancing like crazy in ecstasy here and there. Everybody's seeing, all the devotees was surprised to see. All these days, he was against on Krishna consciousness. And suddenly a person comes and dances and jumps in ecstasy, serves everyone. How will you feel? Have you seen such kind of transformations? Even the not very advanced way, like so much of love, but some transformation. Anyone seen in your life, in your practice? Some person very hard-hearted, not accept, but suddenly one accepts the Krishna consciousness so nicely, serving happily. Anyone have any examples? Anyone would share something in your personal experience? In our life also you can see, of course, we don't love, but once upon a time we are ignorant of this process. At least now, many devotees are doing selfless service. But with this, Gopinath Acharya was surprised to see, he said, "Oh Mahaprabhu, you have done this wonderful thing." And in response to Gopinath Acharya's point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a very, is not sarcastic or any, he gives a very nice truth about it. He says that it's not me. You are a devotee. Because of your association, Lord Jagannath has shown him mercy. So this we can understand that by the mercy of the devotees, one can get Krishna prema, love of mercy of Jagannath. Yashya prasadat bhagavat prasad yashya prasadam nagati kutopi. By the mercy and blessings of the devotees, if devotees pray for us, we will get it. We'll get the desired, topmost mercy of the Lord Jagannath. It is the devotees we are here. It is the devotees' blessings we are able to be in association, experience whatever the taste in Krishna consciousness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's point is to be taken very seriously because the association of the devotees, we are able to progress in our spiritual life. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya offered many prayers, especially this one. He's saying, you have delivered the entire world. That makes sense. But you have delivered me also. That's a certainly very wonderful power. Why he said like this? Any thoughts on this? Anyone has a comment on this? Why did he say like this? You have delivered the entire world. That's certainly great task. But you delivered me. It's a very wonderful power. Because generally the impersonalists are envious of the personal form of the Lord. They don't like it. And Lord Krishna says that ye yatamam papadante tam stateva bhajamyaham. Whatever way people come and approach me, I reciprocate accordingly. But yet, even though Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya did not appreciate the personal form of the Lord, he understood the Lord's impersonal. But still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came out of nowhere and delivered Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And it is very hard also to deliver impersonalist. Later we will hear when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is traveling to Vrindavan, he will stop in Kasi, Varanasi, and he'll deliver the impersonalist. We'll hear that later. Any comments so far with this? Please excuse me. Any comments, questions? Okay, so we proceed to next.
তর্কশাস্ত্রে জড় আমি জৈছে লৌহ পিণ্ড আমা ডোবাইলে তুমি প্রতাপ প্রচণ্ড.
I had become dull-headed due to reading too many books on logic. Consequently, I had become like an iron bar. Nonetheless, you have melted me, and therefore your influence is very great. It's a great lesson from here also. It is also mentioned that one should not read too many books. When we read too many books, we will be disturbed, deviated. Even in Krishna consciousness also, just reading too many books but not practicing, not becoming humble. The purpose of reading is, and what is the purpose of reading? Krishna says, Vedeshcha sarvam aham eva vedyaha. The purpose of reading is to know Krishna. And what is the meaning of knowing Krishna? Means one will become humble. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmani gavihastini sunicheva sapakecha panditaha samadarshana. Vidya vinaya. When we read more and more, we know more and more about Krishna, we become more and more humble. But that reading which makes us proud, that is against Krishna consciousness. So that's why it is instructed that one should not read unnecessary books, so many books on many logics, because we'll get into argument. We'll become hard-hearted. I had like an iron bar. An ordinary person, when you hear about from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, how Lord Krishna showed special mercy on the Dvijapatnis. Dvijapatnis means the wives of the Brahmanas. They were engaged in day-to-day activities, cooking, assisting their husbands in worship, very simple, not studying too many Vedas and Shastras. Where the husbands used to spend so much of time in studying the Vedas and Shastras. rules and regulations so much. And Krishna wanted to teach the world just by studying. It's not a big achievement. Rather, he glorified the Dvijapatnis. He glorified the Dvijapatnis. How? He sent his coward friends. He said, these Brahmanas and Brahmanas' wives, they're preparing for yajna, sacrifice. And Krishna knows what is the purpose of sacrifice. Purpose of the sacrifice is to please Lord Krishna and Balram. Yet he sent them saying that go and ask these Brahmanas that Krishna and Balram is hungry. And upon instruction of Krishna, the friends go and really very humble way ask these Brahmanas. Krishna and Balram are just a little far from here. They're very hungry. So if you can give some of the foodstuffs from your sacrifice, it won't spoil your sacrifice if you give. So in response to that, the Brahmanas did not respond at all. They just kept quiet. Why? Because they did not recognize the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, Krishna and Balram. And at the same time, they were so hard on the rules and regulations. Niyama agraha, niyama agraha. Oh, it has to be done like this, it has to be done like this. Only after this one can eat, like that. This offering is not done. How can you feed? But they know well Krishna and Balram is Supreme Personality of Godhead in one sense. Still, they were stuck with their rules and regulations and rituals. They forgot the purpose behind everything is to please satisfy Krishna. On the other hand, when Krishna sent for the Dvijapatnis, as soon as they heard Krishna and Balram were hungry, that's it. They packed everything and disobeyed everyone. They just came with all these varieties of foodstuffs to feed Krishna and Balram and their friends. They understood the purpose behind all the sacrifices. Where the other people, those who are studying too many unnecessary studies too much, but without proper etiquette, without proper behavior, without humility, one will not understand the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why very openly, genuinely he accepts Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that my heart, I have become like iron bar with too much of knowledge, logic, too much of logic, I had it. So he was certainly surprised and grateful that for the Lord to shower his mercy. Text 1:5.
স্তুতি শুনি মহাপ্রভু নিজ বাসা আইলা ভট্টাচার্য আচার্য দ্বারে ভিক্ষা করাইলা.
After hearing the prayers offered by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence, and the Bhattacharya, through Gopinath Acharya, induced the Lord to accept lunch there.
আর দিন প্রভু গেলা জগন্নাথ দর্শনে দর্শন করিলা জগন্নাথ শয্যস্থানে.
Early the following morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see Lord Jagannath in the temple, and he saw the Lord rise from his bed. Anyone has attended this ceremony? Jagannath waking up in the morning in Jagannath Puri. In our temple, of course, we do every day, right? So in Jagannath Puri, anyone has seen it? No? Yeah, when I was a child, I had the privilege to go. Those days in Jagannath Puri temple, you could go to near to Jagannath actually. And I could see how they used to brush Jagannath, give him bath, and everything is morning services. Then, Jagannath had, till now they must be having, just because I don't go, he has a stick, tooth stick, to brush. So the stick, after Jagannath brushes, it does the brush, what happens? The water, the washing his mouth, all this, they will come. They gave actually the water and from the toothbrush itself. In your hand, you can accept as a Mahaprasad, Caritamrita. I don't see nowadays you can, I don't think nowadays you can get publicly like that. But I remember I have received Jagannath's, taking after brush, taking shower, everything, those water also they gave you, water from the toothbrush. Just sharing with you. So because the bread came, the discussion about early the following morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see Lord Jagannath in the temple, and he saw the Lord rise from his bed. That's I want to share that after Jagannath wakes up, he eats, and he has daily routine as well. Brush and take shower, change dress, everything. Okay, please continue with 217.
পূজারী আনিয়া মালা প্রসাদান্ন দিলা, প্রসাদান্ন মালা পায়া প্রভু হর্ষ হইলা।
The priest there presented him with garlands and prasadam that they had been offered to Lord Jagannath. This pleased Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much. One point to note here is that, again, Jagannath and the altar, and Jagannath is also giving the prasadam, Jagannath is receiving the prasadam also. How the Lord is complete, absolute. He is the enjoyer of everything. He enjoys as a servant. He enjoys as a master also. Is complete. It's achintya. It's achintya, inconceivable. He is the Supreme Lord. He enjoys all kind of rasas. Same Jagannath gives the prasadam, and same Jagannath receives the prasadam also in the mode of a devotee.
এই প্রসাদান্ন মালা অঞ্চলে বান্ধিয়া ভট্টাচার্যের ঘরে আইলা প্রভু তরাযুক্ত হইয়া।
Carefully tying the prasadam and garlands in a cloth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hastened to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He immediately went to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Generally you go take prasadam to give to your loved ones. You care, you love. I want to share, I want to give. This is really genuine expression of love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is this kind of gesture is really very nice. He took Mahaprasadam, and that being honoring Mahaprasadam, he become very happy. Just like a devotee can be very happy, pure devotee can be happy as a recipient of Mahaprasadam. Now, carrying Mahaprasadam, he went immediately, rushed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Now, this is only very early morning. Please.
অরুণোদয় কালে হইল প্রভুর আগমন, সেই কালে ভট্টাচার্যের হইল জাগরণ।
He arrived at the Bhattacharya's house a little before sunrise, just when the Bhattacharya was arising from bed.
কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ স্ফুট কহি ভট্টাচার্য জাগিলা, কৃষ্ণ নাম শুনি প্রভুর আনন্দ বাড়িলা।
As Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya rose from bed, he distinctly chanted, Krishna, Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was very pleased to hear him chant the holy name of Krishna. This beautiful Chaitanya Caritamrita is essence, a real scripture for all of us Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Bhagavad Gita in general, and for everyone, Bhagavatam is, primarily all Vaishnavas can read. But Chaitanya Caritamrita teaches to Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's our through the activities of the devotees we learn. As soon as he woke up, Sarvam Bhattacharya, he chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. He just woke up. Naturally, it'll come up. It'll come from the mouth of a devotee. So all these activities we can meditate and contemplate and follow their footsteps. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to hear this. Why? Because this transformation, earlier, just few days back, Sarvam Bhattacharya did not have all these symptoms, all this natural attachment for Krishna's name. Now he wakes up, and as soon as he wakes up, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Of course, he will be chanting with beats also, but in general, devotees chant Krishna's name all the time. Please.
বাহিরে প্রভুর তেহ পাইল দর্শন আস্তে ব্যস্তে আসি কইল চরণ বন্দন
The Bhattacharya noticed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu outside, and with great haste he went to him and offered prayers unto his lotus feet. So there's a both sides, attraction and desperation to meet. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to see Sarvam Bhattacharya in the morning, took prasadam, rushed to his home. Very nice. Same way, Sarvam Bhattacharya woke up and he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately came out and opened that door and received him and bowed down, offered prayers. It's like a Jagannath is coming to his home. Now he knows who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. We wonder how the life would be like this, right?
বসিতে আসন দিয়া দুহেতে তাহা বসিলা প্রসাদন্ন খুলি প্রভু তাঁর হাতে দিলা
And the Bhattacharya offered a carpet for the Lord to sit upon. And both of them sat there. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened the prasadam and placed it in the hands of Bhattacharya.
প্রসাদান্ন পায়া ভট্টাচার্যের আনন্দ হইল স্নান সন্ধ্যা দন্তধাবন যদ্যপি না কইল
At that time, the Bhattacharya had not even washed his mouth, nor had he taken his bath or finished his morning duties. Nonetheless, he was very pleased to receive the prasadam of Lord Jagannath. Being coming from, Indian Hindu background, we all know that certain rules and regulations, guidelines, as soon as you wake up, you clean yourself. Without cleaning, you don't go to the kitchen also, you don't eat anything. Without offering, bhoga to the Lord or service to the Lord, you don't eat anything. General practice, right? Many people practice. Isn't it true? You all witnessed. Even though they are not devotees, they are devotees of other demigods, still, until they take shower, they finish their worship, they don't eat anything. Isn't it true? Is it normal practice? Any comment? No one has witnessed this thing? I came from Orissa, that's the culture I have witnessed. Without taking, after they take shower, they do their worship, then finally they may take a breakfast like that. So we are bound with rules and regulations. That's good for us, coming in mode of goodness. Sarvam Bhattacharya was also very strict in his rituals. He was very strict, so he had just got up from the bed, suddenly notices Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu gives him the Mahaprasadam. Now, without considering any kind of rules, regulations, his appreciation for Mahaprasad is so much multiplied that he immediately honored the Mahaprasadam. he was very pleased to receive Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath. So Krishna's mercy in the Mahaprasad transcends all these rules and regulations. So what do we do? Should we do the same thing? I don't know. I know that when you go to Jagannath Puri, they will say, oh, you don't have to observe Ekadasi in today's Ekadasi, right? We all are fasting. In Jagannath Puri, they say you don't have to observe Ekadasi in Jagannath Puri because Ekadasi Devi is been tied, bound in Jagannath Puri. But we know that as a devotee, if you receive Mahaprasad, we accept it, but we eat it. Later we will find in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime that they will receive it, but keep it for next day and you honor it. But here the whole subject matter is discussed, how the appreciation for Mahaprasad has increased. Faith in Mahaprasad is increased by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. By the mercy of Chaitanya, did you read this Sanskrit here? You did it, okay. Did you read this one? 224. Chaitanya Prasade Manero Sabad Jadyo Gela Ye Sloka Padi Anna Bhakshana Korila. So by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the dullness in the mind of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was eradicated. After reciting the following two verses, he ate the prasadam offered to him. Next. 225. I think he got disconnected or something. Next, Prabhu.
Should I write? Should
Yeah.
I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please.
Shushkam Purishusitam Bhapi Nitam Ha Duradestaha Prapti Matrena Bhokta Bhayam Natra Kala Bicharena.
So it was a Sanskrit. The Bhattacharya said one should eat the Mahaprasad of the Lord immediately upon receiving it, even though it is dried up, stale, or brought from a distant country. One should consider neither time nor place. It's a great statement. One should eat the Mahaprasad of the Lord immediately upon receiving it. That's the Bhattacharya is saying. Even though it is dried up, sometimes you find it dried. The Mahaprasad in Jagannath Puri, you cannot call it rice. They feel bad. You have to call it abada. Call abada. You have to call abada anna. And many times those leftover rice also dried. They become dry and devotees keep it. It's called nirmalya, right? Nirmalya, they keep it and devotees eat every morning. And before they honor any prasadam, they take one grain of it. And after a long time, things can be sometimes stale also, but here instruction. Even if it's stale, one should not find fault in it. And one should consider neither time nor place. Receive Mahaprasad, honor Mahaprasad in great jubilation with faith. To 26.
Nadesha Niyamastatra Nakala Niyamastatha Praptam Annam Drustam Shistai Bhakta Bhanhari Abravit.
The prasadam of the Lord Krishna is to be eaten by gentlemen as soon as it is received. There should be no hesitation. There are no regulatory principles concerning the time and place. This is the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These verses are quoted from the Padma Purana. Any comments? Any questions, comments on this? Please share something. What is, yeah, Dhanachai, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So this is very nice to hear about this. So if one receives Mahaprasadam when we're in the temple, because we understand that we're not supposed to honor prasad in front of the deities or eat in the temple room. If one receives prasadam in the temple room, should I guess we should go outside and honor it, or is it okay to take in front of the deity? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a very nice point. Charanamrit we already receive. Charanamrit we receive.
Right.
In general, Jagannath Puri, no one receives the prasadam in front of the deities. Honoring prasadam, it's not, everywhere when the prasadam is, Charanamrit is at least taken in front of the deities. We have noticed that. All the Vishnu temples as well. Immediately after darshan, they can take their Charanamrit. But as per the prasadam, I don't know much. We know that we are not supposed to be honoring prasadam in front of the deities. Is it a full plate? When sometimes you get a very little prasadam, like that. I know your point.
Yes, that makes sense. Like, say maybe somebody gives you a grape or something like that. You can maybe you honor that, but you're not going to serve the Sunday feast in front of the deities like that. And sometimes we have, like, on Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, they always arrange for cookies to be passed out. You offer some flowers to Srila Prabhupada and offer obeisances, then you receive a prasadam cookie from Srila Prabhupada. And actually, I always wondered whether you honor it right there, and then because it's nice if you honor it right there. Otherwise, you put it in the pocket, and you're not really giving it much respect by doing that. So maybe it's a question for deity ministry for we find out exactly, but it makes sense. Obviously, just take a little prasad to honor it would make sense.
I'm sorry, I got disconnected.
It's okay, right?
So as far as I understand, the little prasadam is when we receive immediately in hand, we can honor. That's what the culture we have seen. I don't know how authentic it is, but eating in front of the deities, as Rupa Goswami gives instructions how to live and practice bhakti, we can follow very carefully. I don't know. We have to find out. But Charanamrit, of course, in general, there's no difference between the Lord and his Mahaprasadam. First of all, in general, when we receive Mahaprasadam, there's so many hesitations are there. People, some non-believers, they don't accept at all. First of all, and the whole essence we learn is that our faith in Mahaprasad is the purpose is the faith in Mahaprasad. It's not the eating where or not. How much love for Mahaprasad, is been appreciated here. There's a story. I don't know if you heard about it. I didn't hear it, but when I was childhood, I was hearing, how Lord Shiva was very mad. No, Parvati was very mad, not receiving Mahaprasad. Narad Muni was in ecstasy by receiving Mahaprasad. Then when Lord Shiva asked, why are you so in ecstasy? He said, because I received Mahaprasad today. Do you have anything for me? A tiny something was in his nails or something. He said, this is what I have it. So he offered to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva became very happy by receiving that. But when he comes to Parvati, and she becomes surprised to see why you are so happy. Because I received Jagannath Mahaprasad today. So where is for me? Can you give? I don't have it. So she becomes mad. That's why in Jagannath Puri, after Bhoga is offered to Jagannath, immediately it goes to Devi. That's Bimla Devi. That's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's name is also Bimla Prasad, right? So Bimla Devi. So all these pastimes, all these activities is just to appreciate or develop love for Mahaprasad, appreciation for Mahaprasad. We honor it with great awe and reverence and joy. Never criticize. Of course, if the salt is less, we immediately criticize. Or some preparation which is of not my choice, then immediately criticize. Isn't it true? So it's the we need to progress. We need to advance. That's the. I cannot share the screen now at this time because my screen sharing ability is gone. As if anyone has, who is host now? The host is okay. Okay. Any further questions, comments? I think we cannot go further because the host has left. Any more comments, questions for today?
Very nice class. It's really nice to hear about how Sarvabhaumacharya was transformed by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's not easy to transform someone these days, and how mercy was for prasadam and everything, and I believed in person form of personality.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that the secret of Bhattacharya.
Oh, okay.
What is that? It's the mercy of devotees. We can also be receiving the same thing. The devotee showers the mercy upon us also. Something. Your hands are. You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, it made me remember one time I was in Vrindavan, and I got the good fortune of going to see the great devotee Ayendra Prabhu. And we went into his apartment where he was, and he had so many Shilas and beautiful Shishi Gaurnitai deities, and his room was it was very transcendental. And at the end, he gave out this Mahaprasad, and he'd stick his hand in this barrel, and he'd pull out, it was like popcorn and some raisins and things like that. And I got scared because I was thinking, oh my gosh, this barrel doesn't look like it's kept so well. and um, and it looked like it wasn't so fresh. There was some fruit flies flying around. And my faith really got put to the test because I was thinking, I'm in India, if I get sick, what will happen? And naturally, when we Americans, we go to India, we're always taking this shot and that shot and this medicine, and we're really trying to prevent ourselves from getting any type of illness. And but it was really put to like the test because you're thinking, okay, here's the prasad, we're supposed to honor it, and it's given in such a way that it's like, here, prasad, and people are taking it right then and honoring it. And then you're like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? So when we read about these pastimes and just I said that, like the faith in the prasad, saying this is not different than Krishna, I see the way that Lord Chaitanya and his associates
Thank you for
received it. So sometimes in the prasadam is very, very nice. It's wrapped up very nice, put it in the refrigerator and kept, it's very, I mean, and we should treat prasadam and distribute prasadam in a very palatable way because we want people to receive it and we want to respect it. But sometimes our faith is put to the test when we receive Mahaprasad and maybe it's not kept so nicely. And how do we view that? Yeah.
Yeah, and I thank you for bringing this. It's true. What you shared is your mental or spiritual position you expressed that time. We all in different levels of realizations, isn't it? It's natural, either for you or for me. We all have. I remember once I went to, when I was little young, went to Jagannath Puri. The Puri culture has changed a lot now. They have a dining facility a little different. So I'm sitting on the floor and eating, and I'm picking. I didn't like this and removing everything. But surrounded by so many people come here, and if anything you put on the floor also, they would come and take it. Very little, they will come in. So many people would come and take it. I was thinking, how come they don't have any discrimination to Mahaprasad? How come they have so much of appreciation to Mahaprasad? It was I was amazed to see. I'm claiming maybe a devotee like that, but these people, they just grab it. For you, what you think waste, for them, it's like a nectar. So some people may not present themselves like a very first class, highly gentleman, like that. Their appearance may not be that great, but their appreciation for Mahaprasad is very deep. I'm seeing all the time. Very deep, actually. This comes, by sadhana, association, and more purification. Our appreciation for Mahaprasad and the Lord, the holy name, will increase more and more. But we just continue. That was one story I had it. Thank you, Dhanacharya, for sharing. Yeah, that's true. It's same with all of us. But at the same time, for us, we have to keep it clean, maintained, and prasadam should be cooked as prescribed. In Jagannath Puri also, there's a guidelines how we should be using best of the ingredients. Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself, our Acharya, he was in charge of making sure the standards are good in Jagannath Puri. Everything offered to Krishna is Mahaprasad, but at the same time, we cannot just offer just like food which is not up that good standard. So high quality prasadam to be offered and high quality prasadam to be distributed also. ISKCON Prabhupada also followed the similar standards. You know very well. Sesasai Vishnu Prabhu would know, and Mitravinda Mataji would know, everybody would know that how in the past, when I came to Philadelphia temple also, I was surprised to see the standard of prasadam. Sesasai Vishnu Prabhu, remember? The prasadam is pakoras and 2 sabjis and puri also fried in ghee, halwa and dal, everything made with ghee. You remember those days? If you're still listening to us. Dhanacharya Prabhu, remember?
Yes, I am still listening. I do remember. Wonderful.
Do you miss those days sometimes?
No, I'm very satisfied with our prasadam.
Now also, those days are very high. I still remember quality is, best of the ingredients they tried. Some devotees say, even though we didn't have money, but we always had a nice prasadam because all investment, everything was done in quality prasadam, actually. I'm fortunate to be able to experience, but just for some time in Philadelphia. I don't know the past. And Dhanacharya says, you know a little more longer than me, I know. Very nice. Thank you. I appreciate all of your time and sharing. Should we stop it here or any further comments? Prasadam is very powerful, very merciful. Let's all prepare for Jagannath Prasad in Rath Yatra as it coming. Let's serve and honor and distribute in love and affection. Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatariyascha pranam Hare Krishna. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.